Let's begin with the topic of greatest interest to the audience here tonight, I assume. Tesla Motors.
Okay.
Where's the company at right now? Where do orders stand?
Oh my God, I don't know what to tell you. It's been rough. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually it's been pretty good. In fact, it really quite a contrast to the rest of the auto business. We're sold out, first of all, for the Tesla Roadster, the sports car. We're sold out through the end of October. And within, I think probably within 2 or 3 months, we'll be actually sold out of all 2009 production for the Roadster. So
is this for the standard Roadster or the advanced version?
Well, we do have a Roadster Sport coming out, which is for those for whom the Roadster isn't fast enough.
Right.
There's the Roadster Sport.
Yeah. How fast is that one now?
That'll do 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds.
So it's, like
it's faster than almost any.
It's like
car,
an ICBM
really.
laid over on its side.
Yeah, it's it's ridiculously fast.
Now, how are the orders for that?
Good, actually. I haven't looked at the latest orders for Roadster Sport, and people actually have an opportunity to upgrade their car to the Roadster Sport that are getting their car after, I think, late June or July. And what we're finding is a lot of people are choosing to upgrade their car to the Sport package. So I actually don't have an exact number for you, but anecdotally, it seems to be doing very well.
Now, the Roadster is 109,000. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the Roadster Sport's 139,000. Do I have that right?
Well, the price to customers is actually, in terms of a comparison price that's relevant for comparing it to a Porsche or something like that, is actually about $98,000. And the reason for that is, if you buy an electric car, you get a $7,500 federal tax rebate. Even if you're an AMT, it applies to everyone.
Okay.
And then you don't pay the gas guzzler tax, which is somewhere in the order of $3,000. So effectively, you're
$12,000 discount.
Yeah, you're roughly, and it depends on which car you compare it against, because the gas guzzler tax does vary, but it's somewhere between a $9,000 to $12,000 discount, and relative to a gasoline sports car. So in effect, you're talking about a car that's just under $100,000 as a base price, and then the sport package is another $20,000 on top of that, and that's equivalent to like going from like a 911 to a 911 Turbo or something, that kind of thing.
Now, if I were to order one right now, if anybody in the audience wants to order one right now, raise your hands. I will take orders. I mean, there you go. If somebody out here were to order one right now, what would it take? What's the deposit and what's the delivery date?
So we're actually reducing our deposit requirements on the Roadster. Previously, we'd used the deposits to provide funding for the company, and that was an acknowledged thing. We said, look, car companies are very capital intensive, so in order to make this doable or more doable, we're going to take deposits. They'll be at risk. People should recognize that. And then the advantage is that they get one of the first cars. And we actually got a lot of people who signed up to that. But we don't really need that anymore. So we're actually going to reduce the deposit down to, I think, $9,900. And then you pay the balance just at start of production, which is a couple months prior to delivery.
Now, did you find any impact on the orders with the falling gas prices? I mean, we saw what happened with Prius. I mean, you can go to Sunnyvale and entire supermarket parking lots are filled with unsold Priuses. Did that affect you guys at all?
I don't think that was a huge impact because most people aren't buying the $100,000 sports car because of to save money on gas.
It's more geek love than it is cheap gas.
Yeah, I was more worried about how that would affect sales for our sedan, which we just unveiled a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment. But keep going, yeah.
But I don't think that's been a key impact on Roadster sales. I think certainly the economy as a whole and the implosion of people's net worths has had an effect on new Roadster sales. And we're fortunate that we do have a significant backlog, going out 6 months. But I wouldn't say gas prices have had a big effect on the Roadster.
Now, being in the car business, you have to be asked, are you taking any federal money?
And
are you worried about your job security if you are?
Well, I don't have to worry about my compensation. My compensation currently is $1. So I'd be happy to cut that in half for the federal government if they do give us a loan. But actually, we've taken no government money at all thus far. Some people out there think we have, and we haven't. Now, we do aspire to get a government loan under what's called the ATVM program. It's the Advanced Technology Vehicle Manufacturing Program.
That's from the DOE?
That's from the DOE. It's not bailout money, and this program was done before there was a need for bailout money. This legislation was written about 18. Started writing it about 18 months ago, and it finally got approved by Congress last year sometime. I think late last year. So and this is before Obama. So this isn't stimulus money. This isn't bailout money. This is actually something that originated in the Senate Energy Committee, because they felt it was a matter of national security and obviously environmentally important for the United States to accelerate its transition away from oil, for all the obvious reasons that it's damaging to it's obviously very damaging to the environment, and as gas prices rise, because as they will dramatically when we come back to another boom, there's going to be a massive wealth transfer out of the United States to other countries, and it's just kind of silly, for that. Why it's cheaper for us to just accelerate the move of oil.
Now, I'm not going to ask you how much you plan to get from the government or when, because I think you said that publicly once and got in trouble, didn't you?
I did get in trouble. I just said what they told me, and they didn't say keep it quiet. So, but suffice to say, we are highly optimistic that we will receive approval, loan approval, in the near term.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Let's talk about the factory. That was there was an awful lot of news a few months ago. Groundbreaking ceremonies.
Yeah.
Big assembly plant going to be out there on 237 in San Jose.
Yeah.
Now it seems to be on hold, and something about financing delayed, or you didn't qualify for it, or what happened?
Yeah. So the San Jose. The idea of using the undeveloped land off the 237 in San Jose occurred before the Section 136 or the ATVM loan program was approved by Congress. And one of the clauses in that ATVM loan program is that you have to. It gives preference to manufacturing facilities older than 20 years, which was actually it's sort of a quasi-Buy American clause, because the foreign car companies that have factories here, almost all their factories are younger than 20 years. So it's essentially to bias the cash towards American companies that clause is put in. But nonetheless, it's there, which means we can't do greenfield. Well,
I assume there's going to be a lot of empty buildings in Dearborn soon. Is that where you plan on going?
No, we'll most likely be in Southern California. We actually have term sheets on 2 locations in Southern California. We looked first in the Bay Area. I'd love to take over NUMMI. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's maybe at some point we'll have an opportunity to acquire NUMMI. That'd be great. I'll take that in a second. But that isn't available right now, and I don't think we can't afford it really, unless they give it to us. Which maybe they will. I don't know.
Now, so where are the cars being manufactured right now? UK, at Lotus.
Actually, the Roadster is considered a U.S. manufactured car. The final assembly occurs in the Bay Area in Menlo Park, of all places.
That well-known auto center.
Right. Well, bear in mind, we're talking low production for the Roadster. So This is a production rate of around about 25 a week. That might rise to 30 a week in the summer. So it's not. I mean, when you sort of add that up, that's 5 cars a day. I mean, that's like your average service center could do a lot more than that. So we install the powertrain in Menlo Park. We do final vehicle verification. We do the high-speed tests out at Moffett Airfield, and then we manufacture the battery pack in St. Carlos. So it's by value, you're talking about something mostly done here.
Where do you do the tests at Moffett?
On the airfield.
On the runway?
Yeah.
Have any of you ever seen a Tesla racing down the runway at Moffett Field? Do you guys like to do it 3 o'clock in the morning or something?
No, there's hardly any traffic on Moffett.
Nowadays, true. Yeah. Let's talk about the new car,
sure.
the S. Tell me about it.
All right. This really is a great car. I mean, the Roadster is a good car. I think the S is a great car, and I think it's something that will it's really quite historic, or at least it aspires to be, in that this will be the first mass-produced highway-capable electric car. And there's never been, this may sound strange, but there's actually never been a mass-produced electric car outside of golf carts.
Is it the first non-internal combustion mass-produced car since the Stanley Steamer?
Yeah, it might be.
Wow, okay.
So, yeah. I mean, there's been hand-built things and conversions of gasoline cars and stuff like that, but not an actual mass-produced electric car. So, now, of course, we have to mass-produce it for that to be true. So that's why I say it aspires to be. That's aspiration is that. But if we fulfill that aspiration, then it'll be very historic. This is a car really designed to take full advantage of an electric powertrain. So the packaging is very optimized for that. The battery pack is in the floor pan between the two axles. So it's this big sort of flat battery pack. It looks a lot like a giant laptop battery pack. In fact, uses laptop cells.
I was going to say, is it still just a ton of laptop batteries?
Well, it's half a ton of laptop
batteries. Half a ton of laptop batteries. Strapped together.
Yeah. Now, that's tricky, by the way.
So in advance...
Strapping is tricky.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So you need a lot of processors, right, to manage all that.
Yeah. I think we're like 30 or 32 processors or something on board. A lot of them are like little tiny ones.
So you must go to bed every night praying for breakthroughs in battery technology so you don't have to deal with this.
No, it's not too bad, actually, having lots of little cells. I mean, believe it or not, that is the highest energy density pack that you can make, is to use a large number of laptop cells. And we keep pushing on the cell manufacturers. And technically, by the way, a battery is a collection of cells. And the cell, if it's just one, it's a cell. And if it's two, it's a battery. So the cell and the cell is a chemical engineering problem. The battery is actually a mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and software engineering problem. So there are different types of expertise needed to do that. And in fact, there are many makers of cells, but there's only one maker of large lithium-ion battery packs, and that's Tesla.